Priest Insurance Agency has been located in the heart of Lumberton, Texas since 2001, providing a consultative approach and educating customers on how their insurance works for them throughout the coastal region of Texas. Priest Insurance specializes in the coastal region of Texas, covering home, auto, business, and recreational insurance. Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live, and today we're sitting here actually at Dan Priest's home. Dan's with me with Priest Insurance, and we're going to talk about insurance on the home. How'd you explain it to me a while ago?
Insurance to value.
Insurance to value. And what that is, and I'm using round numbers here, you built your home 5-6 years ago and it cost you $100,000. Well, now it is, and you insured it for $100,000. Now you, and I think I'm right here, now it'll cost you $150,000 to build the home, but it's only insured for $100,000. So you run into a problem because if you only, and I'm using his example, if you only need a roof and it's 50%, you're not gonna get what you think. Explain it, Dan. I can't. You got it better than I do.
So there's just three values that I think everybody here is very familiar with, and they're related, but they're not the same. You know, the first one, and everybody's getting their tax roll, right?
Right.
So
their appraised value.
Their appraised value. So our fight is to try to drive that thing down. We don't want that thing high at all. And then, you know, homes down here have just, the prices have increased dramatically. And that's this thing called market value, right? And you want to get everything you can for your home if you're selling it, correct?
Right.
And then there's this thing called insurance to value or replacement cost. And that is it's not the same thing as market value, and it's not the same thing as appraised value. It is the cost to rebuild. And the cost to build a house down here is different than the market value right now, okay? So one of the things we need to think about is getting that number correct. And in starting this conversation, I know we're doing a short bit, we urge you to call us, to call your current agent and go over your policies now, because you really, really need to have your house insured correctly to get paid what you need to get paid in a storm. There's a lot of things that have changed. There's endorsements on policies. But for example, building costs here, I've recently, you know, I'm hearing $250, $300 a foot is the reconstruction cost. So many people built their house at $150 a foot. And the problem comes, let's say you're insured for $200,000. And you're like, Dan, if that thing goes away, I'll just take my $200,000 and run, I'll be good. That's fine. But the problem could come in a small loss. And so let's say you have
like stairs or a roof.
Roof comes off and it drips inside the house, and which is really a pretty big loss. But you lose your roof, rain comes in and gets on your walls, and maybe the total is now $50,000. It's not $200, okay? Well, now the reconstruction cost is no longer $200, but let's say it's $300, okay? So in the event of a claim, there's this thing called co-insurance, and it's a relationship of what you have versus what you should insure it for. And that relationship governs what you get paid. And if you're under a requirement that is stated forward by the Texas Department of Insurance, then your claim is adjusted, and you might only get, in that case, what you do have versus what you should have had, 2/3 of the $50,000, less your deductible, and you have this huge problem that we need to address. So we urge you to talk to your agent, call us, who you're doing business with, and go over that, because as we approach hurricane season, you don't want to get into that season and really need us, because we don't want to be able to not respond either. So we need to make sure that you're insured correctly. Call us, let's get that done. Call your agent, and let's go over what you've got, because we do need correct insurance to value.
So if the insurance if they need more insurance, it could go up a little bit.
Yeah.
But with the new rates, with the zoning, they also need to look at, did their zoning change? Will that make any difference or anything?
Well, it could. So what we're finding, of course, there's some people that are still in V zones, but it's not as issue. Those flood rates we're seeing those come down dramatically. And the people that were in A zones, they're experiencing very small increases. So it's really not a big issue on the
Okay.
A-zone stuff going up. The B-zones are coming down, and we're still seeing people by getting their house insured and insuring it correctly to the new value, we're still saving tons of money over what you have been paying.
Right.
But that's a big thing. Nobody wants to voluntarily
Pay more.
pay more.
But down here, and we've said this just about on every show that we've done talking about home insurance, it's not a matter of if you need it, it's a matter of when you need it. Because, you know, we're on the Gulf Coast. The highest elevation here is probably 10 or 12 feet above sea level.
On an anthill.
On an anthill,
Right.
right. And I think a lot of it's 5 to 8 foot is the median.
You're 7 foot right here.
7 foot at his place, and I'm sitting here watching the waves, and if we had an open mic, you could hear the waves. But, you know, no one wants their insurance to go up, but they want to make sure they can fix what they have or replace what they have if a storm comes in. And so that's the reason why we were talking about this. We don't want to scare anyone. And it's good to talk to your insurance. You talked about, what was it, El Nino is here
El
this
Nino, one of the things.
One of them's here this year. And we've got, you know, hurricane season starts in June. In fact, one of the weather people were talking about these fronts that we had coming through down by Florida. One of them showed that it could actually spin up something little and go back to the northeast. Not anything that's going to hurt anything,
Right.
but man, down here, weather is a big part of our lives, and you have to stay on top of your insurance, whether it's your home insurance, your car insurance, your golf cart insurance, and all that. And so that's one thing. Priest Insurance is here to help you. Whether you insure with them or you just have questions, it's always good to get an opinion. And so, you know, the girls in the office, Jamie works for this area down
She
here.
works mostly in this area, yes, and commercially.
Let me tell you, she's wonderful. I've done some shows with her, recordings, been in the office, and she knows coastal flood insurance and coastal insurance like the back of your hand. And so give her a holler. You can reach them at, what's y'all's phone number up there?
409-755-7600.
And they're located in Lumberton, but if you've got a home down here and maybe you want a new quote, they will come down here. They'll look at your home, give you a quote, and take care of you that way too. Your website.
PriestInsuranceAgency.com.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
Just
Review.
review, because oftentimes people think, oh, I've got $200,000 in insurance, I'm covered for a $50,000 loss. It doesn't necessarily work that way. You have to have insurance to value, otherwise you might find yourself in a tough spot. None of us want that to happen in this wonderful place that we all come down here to love.
We've done the show about rebuilding. Actually, you're rebuilding after the storm, and you coming down before, and man, it's in your blood down here. Your kids are down here, and that's what you find down here. And I wrote a piece that once you get here, you hate to leave, and once you leave, you can't wait to get back. It's just something about it, and we want to make sure you're insured so you can rebuild. So, Dan, thanks for joining us again today, taking time out of your busy schedule. You're running, you're biking. He's my coach, making sure I'm biking all the time. So, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye. With ties to the coastal communities, Dan Priest has had the sand between his toes since 1972, with a home on Bolivar Peninsula in Galveston County. He survived a storm named Ike, but lost his home. With insurance coverage, his family was able to rebuild following the 2008 storm and continues to make memories beach. For more information on Priest Insurance and their contact information, please visit their website at www.priestinsuranceagency.com, or their office is open for phone calls with questions and consultation Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. by calling 409-755-7600. Priest Insurance Agency, working and educating customers, making sure they understand and have the coverage they deserve.